We good? 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, cool. Call the April 18th regular board meeting of Lathrop Manteca Fire Protection District meeting to order. There was no closed session. Roll call.
Chairman John Gish,
Here.
Vice Chairman Mark Elliott,
Here.
Director Gloriana Rhodes. Here. Director Tosh Ishihara,
Here.
Director Jeremy Coe.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, stand, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Declaration of conflict interest to my left.
None.
None.
All right. Presentation 6.1.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we're going to bring up Battalion Chief Craig Jones. He's going to be doing our station and engine apparatus inspection presentations.
Thank you, Chief, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For those of you that were with us last year, we're just going to discuss a little bit of the history behind these. The annual station and apparatus inspections occur once a year to help verify that the cleanliness and the maintenance is being done on the stations and the apparatus as requested. And also, it also shows that the guys are taking pride in their apparatus and their stations that they work at. So it's kind of twofold. It also helps us present for budgeting purposes for the following year. So we've identified some major ticket items that may need to be fixed at the stations or on the apparatus. We can prepare for that in the upcoming fiscal year as well. So with that, we'll start with the station inspection. This one's a little unique. The station that won it this year is Fire Station 32. So as you know, it's staffed with a captain and some reserve firefighters out there. So it's a great honor to show that the reserves are dedicated to the program, and you know the captains out there are making sure the cleanliness is getting done above the expectation. Their station looked really nice. So with that, I'd like to bring up Acting Captain Hayes and his reserve firefighters.
That's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief.
Nice job out there. Thank you. Good job. Chief, any words?
So and I think he covered for the most part, but when we look at the men and women of the LMFD, they take pride in their station in every work ethic as a firefighter. However, when it comes time and we look at the budgeting and the process of working through, if we don't take care of our homes, our stations, and we don't do a good job doing that, then things are going to fall apart a lot faster, right? We're going to have to replace, if somebody doesn't take care of the washer and dryer, it's going to go out faster, everything's going to. So this kind of works as twofold, but we acknowledge the hard work that they do. And so it become a little bit of a competition at times, but they do a great job. And this it even shows even more that the work out at Station 32 and the program that we have in place with our reserve firefighters really does pay off, and we are getting good work and good commitment to our community. So great job, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your hard work out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a photo with you.
Well, I want to get the board. Yeah.
Come on down.
That's okay.
Yeah. Why don't we wait through them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. My apologies.
That's all right. No, it was good thought.
And for the apparatus, it goes along, tags along with what the chief said. You know, the apparatus are not cheap to maintain, so we have to forecast and make sure that those things are always in optimal shape and tip-top running condition, because they can be started up on a moment's notice and run for long periods of time. So this year we'll have Station 35 in the mix, which is more apparatus to look at. Station 1 is always a challenge because it's got the most apparatus over there to maintain and keep up with. So they're not out of the running by any means, but this year it was Station 33. So that would be Captain Jeff Nussbaumer and Engineer Parker today. You guys would come up, please, and accept your award. Nice job. Thank you. Nice job. Thank you. Good work, Jeff.
Thank you. Again, Station 33 is an outstation, so most people think that, you know, the schedule is that they're not working as hard as the bigger stations, and that's just not true. There's a lot of work to do out there maintaining apparatus, and they may have a little bit more time than the other guys do, but it doesn't really reflect that their hard work out there should be rewarded for everything. So thank you very much for your work, gentlemen. Thank you.
Did you want us up here with them down here, or? Yeah,
Yes.
if we can.
Short people.
All right, moving on, public comment.
I have no requests, Mr. Chair.
All right. Item 8, consent items.
Consent calendar, item 8.1, March 21st, 2019, regular board meeting minutes. Item 8.2, monthly register of warrants. Item 8.3, receive and file March 2019 incident and training report. Item 8.4, receive and file monthly year-to-date budget report.
Entertain a motion or items to be pulled.
I just have one question, Chair.
All right.
On item 8.2, it's page 5 of 9 of the final report. It just talks about firefighter physicals and shots. And I didn't quite understand. One firefighter was $575, a couple was $15, and then the average looks like about $55. Is there just probably a simple reason that I don't know why, but $575? It's on page 5 of 9 of the warrants for April 2019, the final.
So it all depends on a couple different things, and kind of get into a little bit of, this is kind of tough because, so some individuals,
I was going to say, Mr. Chair, if I don't mind, if it's an HR matter, then can we not discuss it, if that's the concern?
Unfortunately, we shouldn't have put the names in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so if I tell you why they were more, then I'm getting into a HIPAA
okay.
violation because I'm telling you why we had to do more on there,
Oh, okay, okay.
right?
That's perfectly fine.
So-
It just jumped out at me, the description.
Yeah, well, it's actually, didn't think it would be any harm with it, but it's a good question. But I guess maybe, yeah, it's kind of a personnel issue.
Not a problem.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate the answer. Yeah, thank you. That's all I had, Chair.
Anything else? Entertain a motion.
So move to accept the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call.
Director Coe,
Yes.
Director Sahara,
Yes.
Director Rhodes,
Yes.
Vice Chair Elliott,
Yes.
Chairman Gish.
Yes.
Thank you.
9.1, approve and adopt resolution R 2019-02, transfer funds from Measure C account to general fund for fiscal year 2018-19 budget.
Okay, so at the beginning of the 18-19 fiscal year, we allocated a little over $1.8 million for the use in the general fund from Measure C. That helps staff the stations, Station 30 in Lathrop, Station 31, and Station 34, and also Station 35. So Measure C funds are allocated for use within the city of Lathrop only. In December of 2018, the board approved the transfer of $900 from the Measure C account to the general fund. The transfer, this transfer of $938,000 is the other half of the allocated amount into the budget. The year before, we transferred it all at once. However, this year, the payment for some of those funds, since we don't have a full year's worth of reserve, was a little bit behind. So that's why we were only able to transfer the $900. We had a little bit in there, but not enough to do the whole amount. So we just went ahead and split it. We had done that in years past when we first started getting it. The reserve is building itself up, and we'll eventually have enough in there to do that, and we won't have to worry about splitting it anymore. But we needed to transfer the rest of it. If we do it this year, next month is our allocation, if everybody's paid their taxes, which I paid mine. Next month, we see it on the tax roll. So we'll see that, and we'll have this in there. We'll be pretty much caught up with all the funding, and we'll have a good look going into the future for the budgeting process. So staff has recommended the fire board approve and adopt resolution 19-02, the transfer of funds from Measure C to the general fund.
Any questions to the left?
I have no question.
None.
Questions to the right?
No.
Entertain a motion to,
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to follow the staff's recommendation and approve and adopt resolution 2019-02. Transfer the funds from Measure C account to general fund.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote?
Director Coe?
Yes.
Director Ishihara?
Yes.
Director Rhodes?
Yes.
Vice Chair Elliott?
Yes.
Chairman Gish?
Yes. 9.2, government policy adoption.
Yay.
Okay, I've signed the government policies it's been working on with my executive assistant. She's been working towards getting some of these policies. We brought some to you, I think 9 or 10 last group. We have a few more that are coming through. We're making some changes to a few of them, so we haven't brought them forward with you. But right now, we're including 4 governance policies, 3 of which had previously been presented before the board at January's board meeting. And the policy staff is seeking to adopt is the point 16 professional consultant selection policy, the point 17 infrastructure policy, replacement policy, point 21 the inter-fund transfer policy. And so the new one that you haven't seen that we added to this group was because of people requesting the room, we wanted to bring it to you, is the draft of the LMFD training room reserve policy. And if you don't have any changes you want to see with it, we will definitely can adopt it today, but if not, we can bring it back to you with the next group, because we're going to bring them in little spurts for you guys, if that's okay.
That's better.
Yeah, it is.
So at the January 19 regular board meeting, Jack Dials of Management Advisory Services presented approximately 14 to 15 policies to the board. Staff is bringing back these policies after review for adoption. So the 3 that I mentioned earlier, point 16, point 17, and 21. And they're recently increased for the request of the large training community room at 35. With the vast request, the fire board suggested bring back the policy in order to minimize the district's potential liability and risk management. So that's the points 18. Upon adoption of this policy, district staff will use a simple application form for any community members wishing to use the room. So staff recommends the board approve and adopt government policy 16, 17, and policy 18, and also policy point 21.
Any questions to the right?
I have a question. In the policy for the training room, they can use the kitchen. I had some hesitation with that, only because it's really the house of the, while it is a community building, it is still the house of the firefighters. I you know, I don't know how that's gonna go, especially because they clean it.
Yeah, I don't think we were intending that to be that kitchen. I think we were looking at the small little island area that has the refrigerator right there.
Okay.
But if it says, let me
I
make
think
sure.
it said, I read it in the, electronically, so,
I don't, thi-
Let me go
from
back.
what I looked at it, it didn't.
it didn't say.
It didn't say
I read the
yeah,
one
when
that
I
came
read-
electronically.
It's
and
that
it did
small
s-
one, it's that small kitchen.
Okay.
Okay, small kitchen?
It's not the one that you're talking about where the firefighters,
Oh, down at the bottom, will you be using the kitchen, yes or no? Yeah, that probably should,
specify it.
and we're probably referring to the small kitchen up there. And so,
Yeah, because if we open that, then they're actually coming in through the
yeah, no,
offices.
we don't
and-
want
and-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was never the intent.
I mean, I'll make a motion. I don't have a problem with it. It was very well, I liked it, but that was the only hesitation I had.
Yeah.
If we can identify, you know.
Kitchen.
Which kitchen, which area and whatever, so
Yeah.
there's no, especially so that people don't think that they can come with, you know,
Right,
big, huge things and,
yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
So we'll make it the small, what we'll do is we'll address it as, or identify it, I should say, as the small kitchen in the lobby, or small kitchenette or something in the lobby, because it's got a small refrigerator, if they want to use that, you know, to do that kind of stuff.
Anything,
That looks good.
anything to left?
Under the reservation guidelines, item 2, I would hate for it to be so strict that you as the fire chief or even the board can't make a modification to make an exception at any time. I think you said, use of the facility shall be restricted to district residents, groups, or individuals. No non-resident group or non-resident individual use will be permitted. I could foresee something down in the future where you have maybe a company coming to this area for something and they need a meeting space to reach out to residents. I would hate for you to not be able to offer that if it was in the best district or best interest of the district to help with that. So if we could add language in there to fire chief ultimately has the,
I agree with that. We just had the link in there, and they came and did a great presentation. I think I saw you on the Facebook, the live video, and I don't think technically they wouldn't be residents, but they provide services to the residents. So there should be a little clause in there that opens that up, yeah. Well, we'll get some, you know what, let me bring this one back to you.
Well, and I like how he said it in terms of, you know.
Given authority, okay.
For people invested in improving the community or something like that, the fire chief will, you
Okay.
know.
We'll put a little bit in there. That gives me a little bit of leadway. I like that. Good.
and was legal consulted at all?
Not on this one.
Okay. I've seen that by other people in the past, so
Okay.
I don't know if we really want to get to that strict, but in the best interest of the district, maybe we should.
Well, if I may, Chair,
Go ahead.
I remember going through this years back with the city. The thing is this, let's say that a church wants to do something, and we allow it. And then the Church of Satan comes along, and they want to do something, and we deny it. That's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So, you know, and because it all kind of falls on you, you're the one that's going to have to be dealing with that. So it wouldn't be bad to have an attorney just put some kind of language in there, you know, that identifies, I don't know, you know.
Some kind of,
And and this is not personal to me, I'm just using an example that was given to us years ago when we were looking at the city of Lathrop.
no, I agree.
At the same time, I don't want to be as strict as Manteca Unifieds, where you can't even use anything without 3 months' worth of
Documentation.
and stuff. I don't want to discourage people from
Okay.
using the community room.
So we've had we had Link come in, and that was obviously a good effort for them. And then we've had a request from some local government agencies, LID has requested. So we're allowing them until we can get the policy vetted out. But that's the only members of the community, not really community, but other local governments that have been using
Yeah.
it. So, okay. We'll look at anything else in here that, after everybody goes through, and we'll send it to legal.
Those look pretty good.
Not in relation to this, but item .17. Is that something you shared in the past, and that's why it wasn't provided in the handout? Or am I the only one that didn't get it?
Let me check. I thought it was in there.
Is it an electronic one?
Not mine.
Oh, we all got the same one, so. I didn't even catch that.
Nope. No. Nope, it's not in there, and it's not in the electronic, and I would advise against the board approving that for transparency issues. I think you have seen it. It was given to you on the first round, but we don't have it in the packet, and I think it would be a mistake to approve it without it being available for the public to see at the meeting.
Oh, yeah. It was in the,
It was in the big packet, but
yeah.
we're asking you to adopt it tonight, and
Okay.
we don't have it in a packet, so I think that we will bring it back.
Okay.
A good choice.
So you'll have 5 or 6 next time.
Any more questions?
No.
Entertain a motion to adopt 16 and 21 of the policies?
I'll make that motion with the suggested language changes on .18. Do you want to include that, or do you want to bring that back?
On the 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it back.
Okay, bring
That
that.
way, in case the legal has major problems
Okay.
with it. I don't think they will, but
Good point. All right. I'll make the motion for 16 and 21.
I'll second.
Been moved and second. Roll call vote?
Director Coe?
Yes.
Director Ishihara?
Yes.
Director Rhodes?
Yes.
Vice Chair Elliott?
Yes.
Chairman Gish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on to 10.1, schedule strategic operational objective planning meeting and budget study session meeting.
so it's that time. It's time to get our hands dirty and get into the strategic operational plan and the budget study session. So we want to look at some dates. So this month is April. May, we normally have done the strategic operational plan. So the 1st of May, we're going to be meeting with all of the line personnel, working on the goals and the goals, the mission statement, not the goals, the mission statement, the SWOT, and bringing it back to you with all that information. And then from there, working with the board to establish the goals and the objectives. So we just need some dates. We need some dates. Try that. We need some dates in order to get that accomplished. We can do it the day of the meeting. We can do it a different day. But June is when we need to do the preliminary budget, so we need to do a study session. But let's work through the strategic operational plan first.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, I still believe in the same thing, that because there needs to be time for it to be printed and everything, doing it before a meeting, the time we did it, we went insane. We had to, I like how we did it last year. We had enough time in between for staff to do what they had to do to bring it back to the board. The year
Yeah.
prior to that, we tried to cram it all on the same day, and it went crazy.
Yeah, So the 8th is when we're planning on having it, and we have an early meeting because the 16th is our meeting for this one.
Okay.
So the 8th, we planned it with the line personnel that are going to be coming. So if we could do it right after that, or we can do it that 13th, 14th. Is anybody available on Monday, Tuesday?
I'm always
That looks
available.
fine for me.
What time, what would be the time?
Well, I guess we can talk about the time. We could, if we can't get the room here, which would probably be better to even do it at the new station, at the training room.
Yeah, I'm not available on the 13th, 14th. Yeah.
You're not available at 13, 14?
No, but I,
Has to be after noon. I have,
What's the, so the 8th, so what's the 9th, 10th look like? Thursday, Friday?
yeah, I'm open on that day. Others, 9th or 10th.
9, 10,
I'm
that's
good
fine.
any day, anytime. So just work with the ones that have.
You don't want any days in between the time you met with your staff?
No, because they're just going to give us suggestions. We'll be able to put those in.
Okay.
The real, no, I shouldn't say the real work, the boards section of the objectives, that's going to eat up the time. And so, making sure that we get back, because that's where I should say I need the time, because once you get the goals out, and then I have to come out with how we're going to get there, and then bring it back to you on the 16th for you guys to adopt and make changes. And if we don't get it adopted on the 16th, then we bring it back the next meeting but the next meeting between then and, so this is my plan. If we do it on the 9th and 10th, we come up with the strategic objectives of how to get there. The 16th, we would approve it if the board felt that we sufficiently provided enough information for that. If you didn't, then we would work on it from the 16th to the next meeting. But in between then, we would have our budget study session, and then that would give us time, because that would give us a whole month to make the changes that you want to make on the 16th, and for the strategic operational plan. And then we would then turn around and have time to do the budget study session, where we're going to probably try to bring people in like we did last year to talk about the budgets and work through budgets. And then that would come as a preliminary in June. So you'd adopt the preliminary in June. Hold on, let me see if I got that right. Yeah, provisional would be adopted in June, which, do you have another map? Yes. So the June 20th, so I have a big block of time between the 16th and the 20th, just the way the meetings line up. So then we do something in between, but I'm getting ahead of ourselves, but do something in between in June, and then July would be, if there was any changes to the budget, obviously, we'd be looking at them and bring them back to you in July. So June's the provisional budget, preliminary, budget study session before that, preliminary adoption, then the final adoption of the budget.
So you want to block out 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours?
Yeah, it'd be good, at least 2 hours or 3 hours for the SWAT. Yeah, I'd say at least 3 hours, and then we'll have food and stuff brought in.
Can everyone do Thursday, May 9th at 2 o'clock?
Sounds good to me.
Thursday,
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry.
May 9th.
Sounds good to me.
2 p.m.,
Does that
you
work
said?
for everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay?
Thursday, May 9th, 2 p.m.
location will be here or
35.
35?
Yeah, let's do 35. That'll be good. We'll be able to use the training facility. I have
I'll fill out the application.
yeah, no problem.
Don't make no mistakes.
Yeah, and so now the next one would be the budget study, and that's in June. So we can do it anytime after the 16th, up until June. I would say give me at least the week before. That way it can be brought to you, so up until the 10th. So you guys, is there a specific day you like to prefer? Anybody?
The week of the 10th,
Yeah,
June.
What were the
I'll
2
be
days
gone
you
the
said?
whole week of the 10th.
It could be any day between
Before the
the
10th.
16th of May, or the 17th of May to the 10th of June.
So we can actually do it the first week of June?
Yeah,
What about,
that'd be great for me.
what,
Because we got graduations the end of May, so.
so
June 6th work for everyone?
yeah.
What day is that?
Thursday,
Thursday, June 6th.
Same
I'm-
time?
I'm free.
2 o'clock?
It'll work for me.
Works for me, too.
2 o'clock? Yeah, works for me.
Let me check
you,
my
Mark?
calendar.
I'll come straight from my hair appointment, but I'll be here.
There you go.
And we'll do that at 35 also, right?
Yeah, let's do that one at 35 also.
So both at 35.
Okay. Move on to,
So those are the 2.
Yep, that's the two.
move on to 10.2, Chief's report.
Okay, grand opening of Station 35. That was a great day. I think the showing from the public there was a lot of people there. Kind of overwhelming. I didn't expect we'd get them all at once like that, but I guess I should have anticipated that they would have. And we went through hot dogs pretty quick and everything pretty quick, and we only had some minor damage to one of the doors that we were able to fix, and so that was a little bit of a challenge, but we got that taken care of too. But other than that, I think it went well. So it's up for you guys to discuss and what you guys think.
No, I think, Chief, you did an excellent job, and also the staff, very cordial, had some good reports from, people and stuff. But thank the staff, and also the firefighters. Okay. Relay that message to them. Okay. It was great. I had a good time.
Fantastic. I appreciate the off-duty staff that came. I know they didn't have to, but I appreciate that they did. And it just shows how much the community means to them to be part of something so great as the news station. I wish I could have stayed longer, but unfortunately, I had some other things to attend to. But great job. I appreciate you letting the scouts participate. They really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Am I right?
Yeah, no, it was very memorable, well-attended. It was great. The speakers all did a wonderful job, and it was just really, like Director Cole said, it was really great to see the officers come and the firefighters come, especially with also having the dignitaries there. I was really excited to see the mayor and the council there. And then also Heath Flora. I don't see Heath Flora very often, but that was cool that he was at that event. So I thought that was a special thing to see him and his support. So, but no, you guys all did a wonderful job. Like Tosh was saying, it's a huge event that you never know who's going to come, but there's people everywhere. So it was exciting, and you guys taking the time to shuttle people really was first class. People really enjoyed that, or at least they walked a little and shuttled a little, so that was cool too. So people really felt special. All the firefighters made everybody feel welcome, and just took care of everything that was needed, because there was a lot of people for a good piece of time. So once again, Chief, it was very memorable. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was outstanding. I had a blast, and I think everybody else did. At one point, I was walking around looking for my granddaughter, who's 6 years old, and I found her giving a tour. I thought that was quite interesting. But no, you guys did an amazing job, everybody that attended. It is so amazing that the Lathrop Manteca Fire District now has 5 stations. We have 2 in the Manteca Rural and 3 in the city of Lathrop, and that is really great. And I know I made a mistake when I mentioned Station 37, but let's face it, that will come along at one point. Next one will be 36, and who knows, we're going to be in 37 pretty soon. I do appreciate it, and I'll tell you, I do appreciate the fact that we mention stations by their number, only because of the reality that they belong to the district, because I did get some comments, in terms of, whose station is it? So with that being said, and not saying any more to that, I do appreciate that we talk about the Lathrop Manteca Fire District and the fact that there are 5 stations in that district, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. And another thing too is I was driving west and the engine 30 or truck 30, whatever, was coming my way. And when you look at it driving to you, that thing is massive. I was like, wow, that is our, what is it? That's a truck, correct? That's a truck, not an engine.
Yeah.
It was massive. But anyway, thank you so much. It was really good.
Thank you.
It turned out nice. I was amazed when I left at 4 o'clock, there were still people walking in.
Yeah, it was nice. I think, I wish we'd have had a little bit more hot dogs and stuff. Some of the people weren't able to get them, but I think the event went well. I think it was well received from the public, and I agree. Stations are the district stations, and they're all throughout the district, and everybody's welcome to come to any one of them. That'll be one more open house that we're gonna have for the year, so when it starts getting busy. It's interesting that we talk about Station 37 and that, and yeah, you mentioned it, and they're like, the developer was like, whoa, slow down. But that development's gonna be building a school every 2 years. They sold 20 homes last week.
My goodness.
1 week. So if the economy stays strong, you're right, that Station 37 will be coming around sooner than we think.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, and I was teasing the developer at one point, because, who really pays for them is the people that,
Right.
that move into Lathrop,
That's right.
They're the ones that are paying that fee
That's their station.
To have a station there. So, but no, thank you. Oh, and we will have an opening for 31, huh? When it's.
yeah, we'll have a reopening of Station 31, and we'll do something pretty similar to what we did for 35s.
Cool.
So we're getting, and I don't have that up as an update, but I can allude to that. We're getting bids for the expansion of the changeover for the battalion quarters over at Station 31 now as we speak. So we're moving forward with that. Now that we got some time to get them in there and get them out, and a little bit of a plan, but we're going together.
Right.
So the next is the Behind the Fire Breakfast with the Firefighters is May 18th. That's coming up. I want to put that on the schedule. We also have an Easter egg hunt this Saturday on the 20th. So if you want to bring family and friends, it's going to be at Station 35 this year, because just for the simple fact, 34 had to get dug up so it's all under construction over there for the grass and everything for the new drainage. So we're going to do it at 35. So the brown eggs will be the one, and the tan bark will be the ones the hardest to find. So we got to make sure we count them this year, okay? But that'll be coming up on the 20th.
As long as it doesn't rain and get muddy out.
And that's really all I have. We do have the reserve applications are coming through, and we're going to be probably making phone calls over the next couple weeks to individuals to bring them in and either interview or let them know that to get them through the process. We did get a chunk at the end. The Las Positas kids are going to be applying too, so we need to really look at that. Next month, I think I'm going to come and ask you to expand the pool. We have 25 spots, and there's about 10 that are missing, but when we start looking at staff in Station 32 and how we're doing that and the model that we have there, I think it may behoove us to add more personnel to be able to staff that more consistently. So we haven't had any problems. We ran into a couple times where we had to really look for an individual to work, but other than that, it's been pretty well attended from the staff. Yes.
Very good.
Mr. Chair, Chief, if we do go up to a higher number,
Yeah.
and because Station 35 is as big as it is there an opportunity to use the reserves not only for Station 32, but just to add additional staffing in 35s. Obviously, it's not a requirement like 32s is, but at least an opportunity for those that want to put in the time. I don't know, there might be some politics or some union things to go with that, but is that an opportunity that you've thought of, or?
It actually is an opportunity that I was thinking of, because it's been hard to get that station staff, so we wanted to make sure personnel there. Unfortunately, I think as we work through, and every time we change the program a little bit to see what's working best and making sure we're getting good participation from the individuals, I think it's time to get back to where they can ride at even 31s and 34s. And now that we have a little bit of room to spread people around, not so much at 31s right now because the battalion's there, but once we get that all fixed. But I think we're moving that program in there. It was funding, and so I think we'll have a little bit of additional funding we'll be able to put into that program this year and be able to do exactly what you just said. So I would love to do that and add some staffing. Not to supplement or do anything like that, but to give them opportunity to be able to get that experience. And so I think that the union would be on board with that.
When you have a reserve leave, is there any kind of exit interview to figure out why they left us? Did they go to a paid position, or is it because of lack of opportunity for training, or has that ever come up?
So we haven't had, well, I guess we don't do formal because they're not employees of exit interviews. It wouldn't be a bad thing to do an exit interview for, or at least an exit interview for individual reserves. Most of them have either resigned based on whatever circumstances. So they give us a letter of resignation. And a lot of times it's because they get a job. They get a job in another organization, they'll go here, or their family life changes a little bit and they want to do something a little bit different. We haven't had too many leave because they weren't happy with the program. But again, I think an exit interview would give them an opportunity to say that versus when they give us a letter saying that they just don't want to be there anymore. So we'll look at that. I'll work with HR to work on exit interviews for the reserves. That's a good suggestion.
Thank you.
We haven't done them in the past, but I think it's a good suggestion because that will really give us an idea of how that program's moving forward and how we can improve on it.
Well, if I may, it makes sense that if they get another position as a firefighter somewhere else, that they would leave right away. And I'll tell you, I mean, I remember talking to one some years back, and my thing was, don't get hurt as a volunteer and put in jeopardy your paying job, your real job, in other words.
Yeah.
But I would be curious to know how many do, because we gave them that excellent training.
Yeah.
Get hired somewhere else.
No, that wouldn't be a bad thing to know that also. Good statistic.
My family has a security company, and one of the advertising points of that is how many people have left that company to pursue law enforcement opportunities. So it'd be just another statistic to have. This many reserves have left us to go into paid full-time.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Well, and I was going to bring it back next month once I solidified it a little bit more. So the Las Positas students that were there, they go through a Firefighter One Academy in Las Positas College over in. So what's missing out of that program is the application of the 1-year experience, because that's required now to work for a fire department for your Firefighter One. So when we talk about regional training, we talk about programs, and we're looking at how we're going to do one here and specifically, and we're still moving forward with that. This is going to be an opportunity to build that bridge with a program that's established, that's doing all the didactic now. And so we'll be able to bring that in and have that application process for them to get in the field and get that done. So I think that's where we're moving forward with this. This group of reserves, some of them that have completed are going to apply for that. And then we're looking more of a model like Butte College, where you go to college and you actually work on the campus, on the engine, and you respond. So we're kind of morphing the program, and that'll give us a good stepping off place for our own, if we were to establish our own academy and put that in place once the training room is done. So it's really coming around. It's a little bit slow process, but this is it's a accredited college, and so that gives them that opportunity to get all their credits and everything towards that program. We would have to, it's going to take us time to seek that out, and so really bridging that gap, giving us opportunity to expand it will be exciting. So we're working towards that, and that's why I'm thinking about expanding a little bit more so that we can get those individuals also capture that opportunity, especially for the staffing at Station 32, but yet give individuals that don't necessarily want a job or are not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, still that opportunity to volunteer and work. So that's why I think that's a great idea to expand it.
One last thing, but I don't want to take your
Oh,
time.
no, I'm done.
Oh, you
Thank
sure?
Yeah. No, but yes.
I mean,
I was
I
sure
took your
I
time
thought I
with
was
the-
sure 3 or 4 times.
I'm just piggybacking on it. I love the idea that we're going to go for the regional training, and you know, because I've said it before, I've been saying it for years. You know, when my son applied to Fresno, he was one of 7,600, and there was only 22 positions. And the only way that they could narrow those fields was by taking certain things to where they could get to a smaller amount of people. And the training of the Lathrop Manteca district played a big role there. So, I mean, we really don't know how good we are, but we hear it from others, you know, and so we really need to share that wealth, because at the end of the day, we want the whole state to be safe and everybody's property and life to be safe.
And I want to add, we just had the firefighter interviews, and I wasn't in on them, but my staff that sat in them, I was kind of, not, I guess I shouldn't say surprised, but I was excited to hear that people that interviewed talked about our organization now as a destination organization, somewhere where they want to work. That's their job. And that they like what they're hearing about all of the stuff that we're providing, the direction we're going as a council, as a board, and as the staff, and as the firefighters, as behind the fire. I mean, there was a lot of just feedback from that, of what we do as an organization, and it takes all of us. It doesn't happen from just one person. We all have to work together, and the board has really done that over the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. We've really worked towards getting that, you know, collaborative, cohesive relationship with the staff and also the line personnel. And so I think we're there. Negotiations coming up, so I'm sure there'll be, you know, it's negotiations, but I like to tease the president about that. But I think that we're really in a great place, and I'm gonna knock on wood so I don't jinx myself, be back here tomorrow talking to you guys. But I think we're moving in the right direction, and it really came out in the interviews. I mean, that's just not us saying that. That's people from the outside that are hearing that. And even if they're hearing it from our staff when they're coming to interview, that's great. That means that our staff is promoting us when nobody's looking. And that's great. That's great to hear. I'm excited. I really was excited to hear all the feedback.
Well, that should make you feel humble, and that's awesome to hear. I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah. Thank you. And so I don't have anything for the strategic operational plan. We haven't added anything. We've been working on some stuff, and so obviously we'll go over some of the stuff that we accomplished here before we start the next one.
Alrighty, move on to board comments. Starts to my left. Josh?
Well, don't forget, I'd like to thank Lieutenant Chief Asham. Please relay that, because on that, Benny and I attended that every 15 minutes, and there's a lot of work to that. That was a great program. I went to both of them, and it takes about five months to prepare, and also the participation. I want to thank the firefighters that participated. So, and also same Battalion Chief, the principal at Lathrop High School invited us for the WASP, the accreditation team that came to high school. He was there because we were invited for the parents and Battalion Chief, and then Benny and I on the next day were back for the committee report, you know, for the accreditation. And that school has really turned around. I mean, I think they had about a year before, but hopefully they're shooting for a 4-year, you know, term. So they said that the committee chairman, she said that getting 6-year is pretty hard, you know. They haven't seen, but the way it looked, we haven't got the final report, you know, but I'd like to thank him. And also, I want to thank Rhoda for getting my binder ready. But I also want to thank the staff. Okay, I know there's a lot of work to with the new station and getting everything organized, but thank you very much. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Great job to everyone for this last month during Station 35 and everything else. It's getting warmer, 84, 85 today, so it's only going to get even hotter, so drink lots of water.
Yeah.
To the right. Vice Chairman Elliott.
No, thank you to the staff and to the board. Like we said earlier at the, you know, at the dedication, it was a very special time, and you know, just the way that the staff and chief, you guys made us feel was, I've never experienced that. You know, you had us, you know, always in the right spot, and you know, the gifts, you know, having us, you know, be part of the ribbon cutting, that was special. So thank you for that, and allowing us to speak too, because there's a lot of speakers there. But I appreciate you taking the time, because a few people said, boy, it sure took some time, but it's special, and you made it that way, and I wanted to really point that out. Also, the award winners today, I just really, first time I've experienced, you know, the competition, but it really stands out that, you know, your reserve station wins an award today with their leadership and more importantly, you know, really trying to, you know, signify the importance of the reserves, which I think is our cornerstone, is our reserve program. And then finally, you know, the other station award winners. So thank you to the captains and leadership. And finally, you know, with this wonderful weather, it's just amazing on just how many accidents and things happen when the weather turns. I don't know if it's just been this week, but it just seems like we've just been really busy, the district. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but it just seems like this week has been off the chain as far as accidents and car, you know, everything happening. We're just such a busy region, so we just want to, you know, pray for safety, and you know, everybody have a happy Easter. I know it's kind of a little later this year, but this weekend's going to be a special one. So just wish everybody a happy Easter.
Thank you.
Again, amazing job for the grand opening and the river cutting. I got to tell you, I've been going to these for 30 years, and it was very nice, very classy. And you know, there's always this protocol that has to be followed, and it was beautiful. I think that this might be the second best, and the only reason the first one, the number one was because we all had to dress up. And I love dressing up. But no, thank you very much, and I had a blast.
Thank you. Real quick on the computers, I forgot to add that in my report. They'll be done in 2 weeks, and then we'll probably put together some training and get you guys in at the training. That can be done at your leisure. Come in and work with you, have you sign in and do that kind of stuff at the station. So we'll get that done for you guys, and that'll be good. Couple weeks.
Will it possibly be ready before our SWAT?
We're gonna try to do that.
Maybe just add that.
A little time in there?
Yeah, a little time in there to go over it.
That'd be good. Yeah, we can give you both versions, like a hard copy and a soft copy.
Mr. Chair, thank you for letting me speak again. I just wanted to say social media is huge and everything, and I really appreciate the focus that you guys have been doing on social media, getting out there, like the other director was just mentioning about, it's been getting busy, and I've noticed the spike on social media showing we're out there, lots of things to do, there are lots of calls out there, so great job on that. And I have one other thing, but it slipped my mind already. Must not have been that important.
All right. I just want to say happy Easter to everybody. And I attended every 15 minutes. And it was kind of good sitting up in the stands with the other dignitaries, because it was pretty impressive when we had all our equipment out there. And we have some sharp equipment. And they were making comments about it. Yeah. And, you know, it was a proud moment.
Yeah.
You know, and it looked, having all our nice equipment looks great.
Yeah.
And everything looks pretty uniform, same make and model.
Yeah. We try to keep everything, one of the benefits, you know, is all, you guys all know, is the, you know, you look at wages and retirement and all those costs, and, well, it's just as important to make sure that the firefighters have the right tools to do the job. They have to be able to respond and perform, and if you, it is true that if you give them good quality equipment, they maintain it, and they do it on their own, and because they could easily not do it, and we would have to force them, and it doesn't work as good as you think, right? Doing that, it still doesn't get done. So they do a great job. I can't say enough about my staff and the personnel, and it's been a great time. So it's a good time. A little superstitious, I'm gonna knock on that one.
And happy telecommunications weekend.
All righty, with nothing else for the board, we'll adjourn to May 16th, 2019 at 7 o'clock.
Thank you. Good meeting. Happy Easter.
Yeah, I just got back from